for the regular agenda. Yes, state your name, please. Oh, thank you. Susan Lscsd Meeting. I don't I wanted to just suggest a possible community project because when I was on the future planning committee years ago, and then in the Titus Garden group, we talked about the project. And I understand that since the water tanks or towers or whatever they're called need to be replaced in the near future for billions of dollars, that when they're replaced soon, which is important to all of us, that we consider a community project that for 15 years I've been thinking about, and we plant some trees. I even have the material to put in so we don't have to have the water trucks there all the time. Been donated to me. And then paint the water towers, the tanks, at least the two over here, and maybe others, a blue color, so instead of blending with the ground when you're in an airplane, it looks beautiful, but when you're living down below it and you see the blue sky, and it's a lovely color, and I know there's probably more gallons here, or 100 gallons. But anyway, that existing tank can be mixed with another color and could make green, so we can, as a community, take mountains, hills, valleys, and ponderosa trees. That's all. Well, I did not go any further after talking to our new general manager when I realized the crisis with the sewer ponds. And so we put and a few other things, so we at the future planning committee put our energies into the community center, the trails, and the other things. That's all.
Dave Hagan, 4936 Rainbow. Specifically, I wanted to address Paul's comments in the last meeting regarding taking the qualification or the lack thereof. In over 30 years as a general manager of the construction trades business, I've seen and worked with many people who had a certificate hanging on a wall saying they were qualified to do the job. But when they actually got out in the field, they didn't have quite any idea what they were doing. I can cite a couple that actually cost me a lot of money because I had to use these people. Quite simply, I would take experience for a certificate anything. I don't think there's anybody that doubts that Mr. Blake has the experience. I don't know him, but from what I've read, what I've seen, that's my opinion.
My name is Don Moore. I'm a resident here at T Place. I want to speak perfect lead-ins here. We're talking about water experience. I've been working for the last 5 years on the water issues, the groundwater issues, I should emphasize. I'm a groundwater geologist and a well driller. And the problem here right now is obviously we have a drought, and we have to understand what's going on with that groundwater. The problem we have, number one, we need a new backup well. Been discussed, we've made efforts before, we need to get a good location. Number two, the biggest problem we have is over at Lscsd Ranch where our big Springs well is located. That is a small aquifer that's being overdrawn. Last fall, when Montague Irrigation District started pumping that well heavy, a recent newspaper article even said that we're looking at 1 million gallons a day in the city of Montague. That's fine to help our neighbors, but the problem we have out there, there's a high potential that aquifer is being overdrafted in this drought and lack of pollution. We need to find out what's going on. We don't know how big, what the capacity of that aquifer is. We don't want to find out about it when our wells start sucking there. So to follow that up, I met with Jamie Lee a few weeks ago. It's a gold mine of information. Fits perfectly with what Dave just said. He gave me 1 week this file, including maps, that goes back to data on wells for the lifetime he's been here. Data that is absolutely invaluable to help decide what's going on with our groundwater and how to decide how to handle it in the future. Its goal fits perfectly with what Dave just said. A lifetime of experience here is absolutely invaluable. We need to put it in use.
wasn't able to hear you. You said public comment now, and then you said what? Before you... Oh, this is it. That's 12 seconds, right? Okay, first of all, Miles Herman, 5220 Hill Drive. First, I want to congratulate you all on your new elected office. If I was doing things correctly, I would have said it's cause to congratulate you. You've taken on a very large task. Thank you for making peace with DECO. Peace is very important. I believe if we don't have peace here in our community, we can't expect it from Congress because we're so small. Okay, I have three items real quick. The first is by making peace with the restaurant and golf course and all the other things that the golf course provides, including employment, that is part of our system. The school, Butteville, is part of our system. Let me just say that when young people are looking for a place to move and having children, they're going to look at test scores. So down the road, I'd like, somehow you all form something and start generating ideas between the golf course, the school, and then you have the realtors. You see, the revenue, if I could talk about the budget for a second, the only biggest way to generate revenue here is by getting residents here. In schools, you have to have kids. So we have to put our best foot forward by advertising. The amenities for older people are at the golf course. They have a swimming pool, a bar, and a restaurant. If we don't become too complacent when you're in this community, because when you come to complacent, you take everything around here for granted. I'm trying to get to the beach. See, I got one more move, but my time here was wonderful. Okay, real quick, first I want to recognize the chief. Because later on, he's going to recognize his volunteers, and I may not have been able to, but last year he recognized us, and they didn't let me recognize the chief because if it wasn't for him, for his integrity in service, I certainly wouldn't be at one of these meetings volunteering because he spoke the corner. This is the only recommendation. I'm a former school teacher, administrator, and that was put into me. When you learn how to play the piano, you need the discipline, how to play the keys, and then you need the soul. I am always educating, I remember sitting here telling you, when the kids are off for Martin Luther King Day, you have to educate them why they're off. Because if I see them in the street, I want to know why they're not in school. They need to know. So one of the challenges you have is to bring this entire system together. Another challenge, if you have not had the opportunity, this is real fast I'm talking, if you had not had the opportunity, even though I lived in Georgia for 15 years and they let me slow down, but if you hadn't had the opportunity of spending hours sitting down with the chief to learn about his consciousness, it is extremely important because I don't know if any of you were on the interviewing committee when we were blessed with his attendance and his willingness to take on it. He has the training that we don't have. I don't know much or anything about police and fire safety, how to provide it, what he needs. You owe it to yourself and the community to spend a couple hours talking to him. He's wonderful. Second, I want to acknowledge Sharon. Sharon has taken on the secretary position for the volunteer for the last 3 years. She does a job as good or if not better than all the administrative assistants I ever had. Thank you so much.
Addressed to directors Lane, Thompson, and Cope, and relate to your policies and practices as prescribed by the Brown Act. Milton Friedman was the most respected economist of the 21st century, is known for making many statements and then backing them up with facts. One such statement is that political tyranny and economic freedom cannot coexist. The actions and policies of the current board, solely represented by the 3 directors, clearly represent tyranny as demonstrated by your total disregard for the laws, regulations, and human compassion for the people that work in this district and the people that reside here. As an example, your position to fire the general manager, John McCarthy, showed a total disregard for the staff, a total disregard for the work and policies that were put in place to strengthen the community and make it one of the most successful special districts in California. and a total disregard for the workers' comp laws in the state. Your laughing and smiling shows a total disregard for the public that wishes to speak to you. Most recently, your position that an interim general manager be hired in the most unethical manner imaginable shows a total disregard for the welfare of our staff and a total disregard for the members of the community and their warnings about rehiring someone so unqualified. And most recently, your rush to call a special meeting, to call many special meetings, to pay off the Yuki's and DECO lawsuit shows a complete and total disregard for the laws governing public agencies in California, and a total disregard for the lawful use of public funds and public lands. When you work for a private company, you can make all the bad deals you want. But when you work for a public agency, which is what the Lscsd Community Services District is, you are prohibited from making bad deals like the one you just did with the lawsuit. And now you're ready to make another bad deal. Money that belongs to the water company can and should be used for the needs of the water company, include paying debts that belong to the water company. The $475,000 that you're now in a hurry to give to the Dukies by taking that money from the water company is an extreme misuse of public funds. When you take the action tonight to give away the public's money, you will once again be proving that your actions and policies are the same as any actions or policies that are imposed on a population that is ruled by tyranny. I do not believe that the people of this great nation will stand for tyranny, nor do I believe that the great people of Lscsd will stand for tyranny. Thank you for your time.
Some people from the old administration has really got a lot of guts calling this present administration tyrannical or whatever she just said. The issue, when she tried to appoint, when one of the old board members tried to appoint herself against the law, and then it was just, everybody knows the story. So what is that? What is that? Is that integrity? The other thing about the water fund issue, which I don't know the way it's going to go as far as the loan that is on the agenda and all of that. But last year's budget, the old board approved $150,000 for the employee building at the maintenance yard, to build a building for employees for $150,000 out of the water money reserve funds. It's right here in the budget. Okay, this is last year. They also bought one truck. It was allowed one truck, and I was told by Ms. Camp that they actually bought two because it was a better deal at the time. So there is nothing wrong to put something on the agenda to consider a loan from that point, since that was the money had been used already for like as a slush fund to many projects that belong to everybody, not just the water department.
Where to start? Tom Letter, Lscsd Drive. Lscsd, actually, Lakeshore Lscsd Drive.
Moved recently to you?
Well, she had a birthday and I forgot. Anyhow, the reason I wanted to stand up tonight is I had the opportunity to work for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. 2004. I started working with James in 2005. Before I was on the board, before I was on the Lscsd board, I worked with him as president of the Fire State Council here in Lscsd. So I also helped a little bit on helping rebuild the building after one of our residents got off their medicine first. So anyhow, I know Jamie, and I'm glad to say that when I meet Jamie Lee, I shake his hand and he can shake mine. Having said that, the district that Jamie Lee and I worked at when he was here was a much different district than it is today. The district that I worked at with Jamie when he was based on technology that was from World War II. It was the pump stations had equipment and electronics in them that was so old that you couldn't buy replacement parts. The fact is, we had the biggest storage parts for those types of systems, I believe, on the West Coast in that maintenance yard that Martin just mentioned. So, having said that, the fact is that in the 5 years since Jamie left, we made a huge difference in the way this community is run. There's a new accounting system. Records have been computerized instead of stored in the sewer sheds, which is sewer pump stations, which is where they were stored up until we went to computerized records. The fact is that most of the information disseminated in this community is now disseminated by computer. You can bill electronically. You can use a credit card to pay your bills. None of that was true when Jamie was here. The fact is that every one of the 19 sewer pump stations has been upgraded and has electronics in it now that makes it much more efficient to run because of the electronics and the control of the pumps that you have. It also gives us an opportunity to communicate with these systems remotely. So, and no disrespect to the people who worked here before, but Jay Thompson and John Batson wouldn't have known what to do with a computer. The fact is that a computer now is the access to the systems that we are maintaining here. It will result in very long-term cost savings for this entire community. The only other thing that we have to worry about in this community is the cost of electricity. Get over the idea that you're going to make money somehow and offset rates in this community, because that's not going to happen at this point. But the idea that you can save money by going to low-frequency pumps for your wells, and having the types of technology and control that we now have. Okay. So anyhow, there are better ways to go than this.
Apparently, any other public comments? Yes.
Marie Miller, Palm Drive. I just have a question maybe that I don't know if it's going to be answered or not, and it's kind of in regard to the well, which you said, and peace. I want peace in this community, and also concern for the well, the decision about using those funds. So the questions I have would be, if those funds are allocated for the lawsuit, how will that affect our reserves? How will it affect, if at all, building our well or digging our well, and where that's at as far as the permit? I'm not sure where the permit, if it's expired, or what we're looking at with this well that I believe you said there was a better deal, and also for maintenance. Is that decision to shift that money going to change our water reserve situation in a way that could cost us as water as well? As I said many times, it's one of our biggest assets, and it's vital for us right now. And that's all. So thank you.
And we can either, Jamie, if you want to start this one? Okay, we'll just so then we will go on with the consent calendar.
I request that items C and D be pulled from the consent calendar.
I have C and D, Charlie and someone has to find
Echo.
Charlie and Edward. Echo. I'm not good at this. Because I think both of those need a little bit of discussion. So we're going to be moving on now. Make a motion for the rest. I think we made a motion to approve all the A, B, D, and F.
As amended, and then we'll take both the other slide and take the motion to the consent calendar as amended.
Okay, A, B, D, and F. Yeah, I move that we approve consent calendar items A, B, D, and F. Do I have a second?
board members, there was this one piece of paper, it's item C. And I wanted to express concern about some items that are way over budget. Professional services, we had budgeted 4,000 and it came in at 36,000, over $36,700.
What company?
This is professional services.
What does that mean exactly? Professional services. Legal?
Legal fees. Yeah, legal fees.
So why not leave it legal fees?
Well, there's, okay, let me explain a little further then. There are professional services we have to keep separate accounts for the general fund, the enterprise funds, which are the water and sewer. Am I using the right words? Thank you. And then what do you call the other fund that we use in parks funds? Governmental funds, sorry. So we have two enterprise funds, one sewer, one water, and two, help me out again, governmental funds, which are fire and police. And then there's the general fund. Now, it's state law that we have to divvy them up this way, and you have to do accounting for enterprise funds differently than you do accounting for a general fund. So just so that we're all on it, just trying to get everybody on the same page. So within those five funds, each of them can have professional services listed, and general fund, sewer fund, both of them have professional services.
They all,
Yeah. I apologize if I'm going this all. What I'm trying to say is that we're over budget on some items, and let's look at see how we can tighten it up. That's where I'm trying to go with this. All of that. And one of them is legal fees.
And what caused that overrun? What was the cause of that? The legal fee?
For general services from the general fund, for like normal services like having a engineer, but also for the lawsuit.
As in settlement license.
Mr. McCarthy, yes, I am serving in shape and attorney outside.
I don't want
Can't hear her.
Okay. We also had legal fees for the sewer station litigation, eminent domain action. Actually, I think that was real lawsuit generated brought against the district. So I'm just pointing it out and hoping that our legal costs will drop in the future because it's over budget right now.
So I can assure you that it will drop.
Yes. Can I ask how far back do those fees go?
Okay, it's not public comment section, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Just this. Thank you.
Yeah, these are, just to inform the board, these are fiscal year items. I think Chief Mike, the other item, Chief Mike has addressed and continues to address our fire department spending. Fortunately, we do have an overage, over 42,000 spending in payroll for fire division. We're budgeted for 15,000. But fortunately, and that's because we went on several mutual aid fires. Fortunately, we're hoping to get reimbursement from the state. So we haven't received it yet, though, right? No.
So there's a significant overage there that we need to pay
And
attention.
the expenditure will remain over because the revenue will go into the revenue for the fire and the police. We did receive our reimbursement from the Coles fire already. That was pretty quick.
And the mill fire.
And the mill fire. But we have not received the one for the Beaver fire in that area. So we're still waiting.
Okay.
But they have said, they confirmed an amount, so.
So I just wanted to point out that we need to pay attention to those items because they're over. Okay.
And then you wanted any other agenda items, Paul, pick it up. Do you want the, E,
Echo. This is the compensation package, and I would like to point out that this is a salary position, and with salaried positions, you don't necessarily, in fact, you shouldn't pay an incoming person the same amount as an outgoing person. In setting salaries, it should be looked at experience, skills, education, knowledge, and all of those should come into play rather than just saying, well, what if we pay the other guy, let's just pay him that.
we've already gone over this, Paul, on
And-
this. This is,
Yeah, the board.
We never talked about the salary.
Yes, we did.
The salary amount.
this we did.
And so that's why I'm bringing that up here. It's inappropriate, in my opinion, to pay the incoming person the same amount as we were paying the outgoing person.
It depends on the qualifications of the incoming person and the qualifications of the outgoing person. In this case, I think it is absolutely fine to do that. And we, as a board, we've already decided that that's what's going to be done.
I
If there's no I in board, the board has decided this is going to be done.
That's the three
And
minutes.
so we'll go on to the next one.
There's no I.
Yeah.
What are we, elementary school?
Yes, and we're only ratifying the agreement that was on the agenda.
I thought you didn't have to ratify it.
So don't we move on? Did we just move on, or what happened?
We have to sign. Yeah, those have to be approved also.
Okay, so we approved the,
I need a motion to, I need to together or separate.
Second.
Separate, thank you. I make a motion. For 2C?
Yes.
For 2C? For, are we on E or C? Yes. I make a motion to approve.
And I second the motion to approve C.
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so now we need,
On E.